So today we're going to be talking about the Tamron 28 to 75 for the Sony E-mount system. I'm going to be telling you my experience with this lens and if it's a good lens. Stay tuned. What's going on YouTube? A-Train here bringing y'all another video. So we're going to get straight into the content. I'm going to be reviewing this beauty of a lens right here. This is the Tamron 28 to 75 and this is an amazing lens. I was shocked at how good this lens was when I first got it. I wasn't expecting the type of quality, the performance, just everything that you're getting in this lens. I wasn't not expecting that with Tamron, especially with it being, you know, one of the first third-party lenses that I've gotten. I just wasn't expecting the same type of quality and performance when compared to the Sony native lenses, but this lens is amazing. So I'm not gonna get super technical with this review. That's just not my style. That's just not what I do, you know. I'm just gonna be talking about my experience with this lens, telling you some things I like about it, some stuff I don't like about it, and if you should go out and buy it. Is it worth it? So the price of this lens on Amazon right now is like, I think it's like 870 bucks. So, you know, when compared to the Sony native lenses, they can get very expensive. If you're a Sony shooter, I'm pretty sure you know that. You know, those lenses can get pricey. So if you're looking for a cheaper option, there is some third-party people out here like Tamron, even Samyang, and I also reviewed the Samyang 45mm. I'm gonna link that in the card up top if you want to check that out. But you get, you know, these companies are producing some great lenses and they're really competing with Sony. You know, a lot of people are going for these third-party lenses. Now, as you can see, this lens is fairly small. I don't think it's big at all. I don't think it's heavy, you know, so if you're looking for something that's lighter and a zoom lens, this is a good option, especially when compared to, you know, some of the Sony lenses, especially like the 70 to 200. That is a wider focal range, but that lens is huge and I love that lens, but it's so big, you know, sometimes you just don't even feel like taking it out. But I do love that lens. So for a zoom lens, this is fairly small. And when it comes to the quality, it's a pretty good quality. It does not look cheap. It kind of feels like rubber or something like that. It has a nice feel to it. I have dropped it a couple times. It has a couple scratches, but it does hold up fairly well. It can take some falls. Like I said, I've dropped mine. Still works good, looks good. So as far as the quality and the size, I think it's a pretty good lens. Now let's talk about the focal range, which is one of the main reasons that I got this lens. So you get the 28 to 75 focal range. Now, to me, that is a great focal range for just any kind of photography. You can get wide with the 28mm, so if you want to shoot kind of landscape, I know some people shoot wider, but you can get wider shots. I really don't find myself using the 28mm a lot. I'll use the 35 or I'll zoom into the 75, so it's a very good range. And you know, this is a very versatile lens, so I have used it for studio work, portraits, but I mainly use it for events. I shoot weddings, so this is my go-to when it comes to shooting weddings because I like the convenience of not having to switch out my lenses. Plus, I'm still getting great quality, picture quality with this lens. Now, it's not up to par with like the Sony 85, but I think the picture quality is damn good. And it's not like a, you know, a huge drop off to where I'm like, okay, I have to shoot with a prime lens. So I can switch between all these different focal ranges. I can cover just a lot of different types of shots that I'm trying to get in one lens versus having to switch to a lot of different lenses. Now, when it comes to the picture quality, this lens is tack sharp. Once again, when I first used it, I was surprised by the sharpness of this lens. And also the colors look really good. The colors render really well. Just straight out of camera, I think the files look pretty good. They're contrasty. It kind of has that Zeiss kind of look to it. With this lens, you also have the 2.8 aperture, so it is a fairly fast lens and you can let a good amount of light in. You know, it's not a 1.8, but I feel like I haven't had any issues with the 2.8 aperture. And like I said, I use this in a lot of low light situations and I get good exposed images. Now, I know some of you bokeh lovers, you know, you're looking more so for like the 1.4 or the 1.8, but I think 2.8 is pretty good. Now, as far as the bokeh with this lens, it can't compare with like the Sony 85, but I think the bokeh is pretty good, especially with this being a third-party lens and a zoom lens. You get pretty good bokeh. It's not perfect, it's kind of busy, but once again, it's not why I got this lens. And if I'm shooting close-up portraits, I'm probably using the Sony 85, and I'm mainly using this, you know, for convenience on a wedding day. So I'm really not worried about the bokeh. too much, and I think it's good enough to get the job done. Let's talk about the focusing when it comes to this lens. I know a lot of people, when it comes to buying lenses, you're worried about the focusing, especially with this not being a Sony native lens. You want to know if it can keep up, when it comes to the focusing. I think the focusing is really good. Even I use the Sony eye autofocus a lot and it stays on. The focusing, I haven't had any issues at all. It can keep up, like I said, I shoot weddings, people are moving around. I could say 9 times out of 10, I'm getting sharp images. I don't really experience a lot of missed shots, soft focus with this lens. So the focusing is pretty good. I haven't used this a lot for video, so I really can't say a lot about that. I've used it a couple times for recording YouTube videos. I'll put those on the screen, but I didn't have any issues with the focus. When doing those videos, the video quality looked great. The focus kept up. So if you do want to use this for videos, I do think it can get the job done and the focus can keep up. Also, this lens is weather sealed, so if that's a concern of yours or you're looking for a lens that has weather sealing, then you do get this with the Tamron. Weather sealing to me is not something that I really think about, but then again, I haven't been in situations where I'm shooting and it's raining and stuff like that, so that can be handy just knowing that you have weather sealing when it comes to this lens. So my final thoughts on this lens is this is probably one of my favorite lenses. My number one favorite is the Sony 85. I love the compression, the image quality that you get out of that lens, and it's fairly cheap when compared to some of these other lenses. But this is one of my favorite lenses, and like I said, I was shocked with what this lens can do as far as not just image quality, but performance too. It performs just like a Sony native lens. And then again, with this focal range, you can cover a lot of different things from wider shots to getting close in. I just love the convenience of it. I know some people say zoom lenses, they don't prefer them. They think the image quality isn't up to par when it comes to zoom lenses. But man, the image quality that you get out of this is very good. I think this is one of the best investments I've made when it comes to my photography business. So I think this is a must-have lens. It's a reason why this lens sold out. It was at a point to where you couldn't even get this lens because it was sold out everywhere because everybody was getting it. And it's great, man. I'm really looking forward to the Tamron 70 to 180. I think it's up for pre-order right now because I already know what Tamron can do. If it's anything like this 28 to 75, I know that's going to be a great lens. So I'm really looking forward to that lens. If you're looking forward to the Tamron 70 to 180, comment down below and let me know. If you're just wondering about other lenses, I have a Sony 85mm 1.8 review on my channel. I'm going to link that in the card up top. So if you're thinking about getting that lens or want to know about it, check out that review. If you want to check out this lens or purchase it, I'm going to put the link in the description down below. So go to the description, check out my links if you want to see what type of gear I use and check out that stuff. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I post new videos every single week. Share this to a friend. I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.